Shalom, everybody. We are Israelite Saints of Christ. I'm Brother Jacob, and to my right.
I'm Brother Knob.
And today's topic is the voice of the Most High. So we're going to start with the book of Exodus, chapter 3, and verse 2.
The book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 2.
Read.
And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire.
The angel of the Lord appeared to Moses out of the flame of the fire. So what we're saying today, brothers and sisters, is that there has always been a go-between between the Most High and the children of Israel. And that has always been as Jesus the Christ. Now, so read that again.
The book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 2. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed.
So the bush burned with fire and was not consumed. This verse also says that the flame of fire. So you have to ask yourself, when actually did the Most High ever speak to the prophets or the children of Israel? So let's go to the book of Exodus, chapter 19. So we can find out when the Most High spoke to the children of Israel. The book of Exodus, chapter 19, and verse 17.
The book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 17. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with God.
To meet with God, read.
And they stood at the nether part of the mount. Verse 18. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke.
Altogether on a smoke. Read on.
Because the Lord descended upon it in fire.
He descended upon it on fire. Read on.
And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace. And the whole mount quaked greatly.
The whole mountain. The whole mountain. All right, verse 19, read.
Verse 19. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and God answered him by a voice.
Wow. So we see here, brothers and sisters, this is just the entrance of the Most High coming to speak. And at this point, the whole mountain is shaking. So what we're going to come to understand is this is the only time that the Most High came to the earth to speak to the children of Israel. And what he did was he gave the first set of commandments. Now let's jump over to the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 18. To them.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 18. And all the people saw the thunderings.
Thunderings. Keep this in mind. This is very important. All the people saw the thunderings. Read on.
And the lightnings. And the noise of the trumpet.
Read.
And the mountain smoking.
And the mountain smoking. Keep going.
And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off.
Oh, they could see.
19. And they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear.
Oh, so they told Moses, you speak with us. We'll listen to you. Read.
But let not God speak with us.
Read Read that again.
But let not God speak with us,
lest we die. Okay, so I told everybody to remember about the thunderings. So let's go to the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 22 and verse 14. 2 Samuel 22 and verse 14.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 22 and verse 14. The Lord thundered from heaven.
The Lord what?
Thundered from heaven.
Read.
And the Most High uttered his voice.
The Lord thundered from heaven, and the Most High uttered. So the voice of the Most High is as thunder. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 18 and verse 13. The Most High's voice is as thunder. Book of Psalms, chapter 18, verse 13.
The book of Psalms, chapter 18, verse 13. The Lord thundered in the heavens.
He did what in the heavens?
The Lord also thundered in the heavens.
Read.
And the highest gave his voice. Hail, stones, and coals of fire.
So understand, brothers and sisters, when the Most High speaks, it is as the sound of thunder. So all this time we've been saying that the prophets are speaking to somebody. Moses is speaking to somebody face to face. It's not the Most High. It's the angel of the Lord. And from there, we want to go to the book of Job in chapter 37. We just want to prove one simple point. That the is as thunder. So when people are saying the Most High spoke to me, I sincerely doubt it. We're going to start at verse 2.
The book of 37, verse 2. Hear attentively the noise of his voice and the sound that goeth out of his mouth.
Jump down to verse 4.
Verse 4. After it a voice roared. He thundered with a voice of his excellency.
He thundereth with the voice of his excellency. Once again, his voice is as thunder. Read on.
And he will not stay with them. Excuse me. And he will not stay them when his voice is heard.
Read on.
Verse 5. God thundered marvelously with his voice. Great things doeth he, which we cannot comprehend.
Which we cannot comprehend. So the voice of the Most High is terrible. It's as thunder. So right now, let's jump to the book of Revelation. See if we can find some more thunder. See if we can hear the Most High. See if we can read about the Most High's voice. Because I don't want to hear it. The rest of the children of Israel didn't want to hear it. We'll go to the book of Revelation, chapter 4 and verse 5.
The book of Revelation, chapter 4, verse 5. And out of the throne proceeded lightnings and thunderings.
Lightnings and thunderings. So obviously this is the throne of the Most High. Read.
And voices. And there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of God.
So once again, this is the Most High speaking. Let's go to Revelation chapter 10, verse 3 and 4.
The book of Revelation, chapter 10, verse 3. And cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roareth. And when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voice.
7 thunders uttered their voice. This is obviously the Most High speaking again. Read on.
Verse 4. And when the 7 thunders uttered their voice, I was about to write. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not.
So it's the Most High's voice again, and he's saying, seal up those things. So obviously, there's some truth that's going to come out at an appointed time. So the last scripture we want to hit is Hebrews 12. We're going to see what Paul had to say about our forefather Moses. So the book of Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 18. This is Paul giving an account about Moses being on the mountain in Exodus chapter 19 and chapter 20. So the book of Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 18.
The book of Hebrews chapter 12 verse 18. For ye are not come unto the mount that might be touched, and that burneth with fire, nor unto blackness and darkness and tempest.
And tempest. Read on.
Verse 19. And the sound of a trumpet.
Introducing the Most High. Read on.
And the voice of words, which voice they that heard entreated, that the word should not be spoken to them anymore.
That's because the voice of the Most High was as thunder, and they could not take it. Read on.
Verse 20. For they could not endure that which was commanded. And if so much as a beast touch the mountain, it shall be stoned or thrust through with a dart.
All right, let's finish it up with verse 21.
Verse 21. And so terrible was the sight that Moses said, I exceedingly fear and quake.
Whew. So this voice of the Most High is great and terrible. His voice is as thunder. So he is not the one speaking person to person throughout the scriptures with the prophets and with Moses. It's always been the angel of the Lord, the one that we call Jesus the Christ. So we are the Israelite saints of Christ. I'm Brother Jacob. To my right,
I'm Brother Anab.
And we're saying shalom. Yes, it is.